In a quiet village surrounded by soft green fields and slow-moving streams, there lived a boy named Ariv. He was 16, gentle in nature, and known for carrying a calm smile even when life felt heavy. His home was a small clay house at the edge of the village, where he lived with his mother. His father had passed away years ago, leaving behind memories, a few tools, and many responsibilities that Ariv had taken on far earlier than any child should. Every morning, before the sun fully touched the rooftops, Ariv walked to the nearby well with two metal buckets. The path was uneven, scattered with stones, yet Ariv walked without complaint. He would greet the old neem tree, nod at the birds resting on the wires, and whisper a small prayer of gratitude. Today will be better, he would tell himself. Not because he was sure it would be, but because he wanted to believe it. Yet life wasn't easy for him. School fees were overdue. Work in the fields came and went depending on the season. His mother's health was fragile. And although he smiled, inside, he often wondered if he was strong enough to carry the life placed on his shoulders. One afternoon, after a long day helping a farmer load hay, Ariv sat near the riverbank. A group of boys from his class walked past him. One of them laughed and said, Ariv, why do you always look so happy? You have nothing. The words stung, but Ariv only lowered his gaze and said softly, Maybe, but I still have hope. The boys rolled their eyes and walked away. Ariv remained there, watching the river flow quietly toward places he had never seen. A small ache sat in his chest. He wondered if hope really meant anything, or if it was just something people held on to when they had nothing else. That evening, the sky turned golden, and an elderly man from the village, Master Dev, approached Ariv. He was known for his wisdom, someone people visited in moments of confusion. He sat beside the boy without asking any questions. I heard what happened by the river, the old man said. Ariv's throat tightened. Maybe they're right, Master. Maybe I smile for no reason. Master Dev shook his head gently. No, Ariv. People smile for thousands of reasons. And sometimes the rarest smiles belong to those who carry the heaviest burdens. Ariv looked at him, puzzled. The old man picked up a small stone and held it out. If I place this in your pocket, you will feel its weight. But if I place the entire river in your pocket, you will break. Life is the same. Negative thoughts are like rivers. They overflow, drown, destroy. Positive thoughts are stones you choose carefully. Only a few. Only the ones that help you walk forward. Ariv listened quietly. Tell me, Master Dev continued, when you wake up and tell yourself, today will be better, what happens? Ariv thought for a moment. My heart calms down. It feels possible. Exactly, Master Dev said with a smile. Positive thinking does not change the world immediately, but it changes you. And you change the world slowly. Those words stayed with Ariv long after the conversation ended. That night, as he lay on the thin mattress beside his mother, he repeated them in his mind. It changes you, and you change the world slowly. The next morning, something inside him felt different. Not lighter, but steadier. Slowly, Ariv began to build small habits around this new mindset. When his mother struggled to sit up, he held her hand and whispered, We'll get through this. When he didn't have enough money for supplies, he told himself, I will find a way. And when the same boys mocked him again, he simply smiled and said, I hope your day gets better. The village began noticing him. The shopkeeper admired how Ariv stayed patient even when customers complained. The school teacher noticed how he helped younger children with their books. The farmer he worked for saw how Ariv's quiet encouragement kept the workers going through long, hot days. People started saying, the boy has something special. His mind is different. But Ariv did not see himself as special. He was simply trying to breathe hope into the empty spaces of his life. And slowly, hope began to grow roots. One monsoon afternoon, the river flooded unexpectedly. A small child from the village slipped near the edge and was swept into the fast-moving water. Panic spread instantly. People shouted, pointed, ran for help. But no one dared go near the rushing stream. Except Ariv. Without thinking twice, He threw himself into the water. The current was fierce, pulling him under, tossing him from side to side. But Arav kept his eyes open, stretching his arm toward the crying boy. With one final push, he reached him, gripped his shirt tightly, and pulled him toward a low branch hanging over the riverbank. With the help of villagers, both were rescued. The entire village gathered around Arav, drenched and shivering, but holding the child safely in his arms. Someone asked him, "Weren't you afraid?" Arav smiled, breathless. "I was." But a thought kept repeating in my mind, "It's possible." And it was. From that day on, Arav's name spread far beyond the village. People spoke of the boy who saved a life not with strength, but with belief. A local teacher invited him to speak to students about courage. A nearby town requested he share his story during a community event. Slowly, Arav's simple words, "Positive thinking changes you, and you change the world slowly," began reaching more ears, more hearts. Months passed. His mother's health improved, helped by the support the village offered after Arav's brave act. Arav returned to school with sponsored fees. He still woke early each morning, still carried water, still worked in the fields when needed. But now, he did it with a deeper sense of purpose. He had not become rich. He had not become famous. But he had become something far more valuable, a light for those living in darkness. One evening, as he stood by the river watching the sunset paint the water in shades of gold, Master Dev joined him again. "You see, Arav," he said softly, "the world listens when a pure heart speaks. You taught them something many forget, that a positive mind is not a decoration, it is strength." Arav lowered his eyes, humbled. "I only did what I could." "And that," Master Dev replied, "is exactly why it worked." The river flowed quietly beside them, and the sky slowly faded into night. Arav felt grateful, grateful for struggles that shaped him, mentors who guided him, and thoughts that saved him. He had learned a simple truth. Positivity does not erase pain, but it gives the courage to walk through it. Moral lesson. In life, we cannot choose every circumstance, but we can choose the thoughts we plant inside our minds. A single positive thought can lift a tired heart, guide a lost step, and change the course of a life. Stay hopeful. Stay steady. Your mind can become your greatest strength. If you believe this story should reach more people, please share it.